I'm Lloyd Ellender. We got John Lee, Jim Choik, Laura Lee, all here from the board at St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. Here for our 11 o'clock haves and wants, buy and sell here for August 19th, 2022. So yeah, we're just talking about the meeting Tuesday over there. I know Jeannie and Lynn were there and saw them. Wasn't that a good meeting? Yeah, they were good.
That was great.
Yeah, informative and entertaining, and they're getting the word out about what a great place St. Louis is to live and invest in. So again, giving us a much better image of that.
I was happy to hear. I was happy to hear that they're doing so much work in St. Louis and expanding. You know, because I guess I don't get around too much in some of the areas, but yeah, it's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there too. It was very interesting. Yes, it was a very good meeting.
Yeah, I am. That's right. You were there, Ann. So
I am.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
So nice to get to meet you. And by the way, Pat said to tell you hi.
Oh, she did. Okay. Thanks.
okay. Well, as far as future meetings, we got to work out the details. I don't know if John's got anything more on that, but for our September meeting, we've been talking about having a couple of speakers doing on the theme of short-term rentals, and there was a little bit of discussion there even on this past Tuesday. They touched on some of the short-term rentals you can do with visiting nurses, and even our own board member Amber Gray does short-term rentals with visiting nurses, and I think we're going to have her, and we got another participant doing on talking about Airbnbs. So looking forward to that. And then in October, we're having our, we do our nominations for our elections in November. So keep that in mind. If you're interested, you can contact me or leave a message in our contact on our website, STLREIA.com. There's a place on there, contact us. It's under about, I think it's about, and then contact. You leave a short message there with your contact information. We'll get back to you if you're interested in just discussing it. So, you know, again, we're not for profit. None of our board members are paid for their services, and we're all here because we've gotten so much out of the organization that we feel that it's time to give back. So that's why I'm here anyway. I don't know. And I think it's the same with most of the other board members. So haves and wants, buy, sell here. What do you got for us today? If you got any wholesalers that have something under contract, they're looking for a buyer, we've probably got some investors here that'll could snatch it up. I know I'm always looking for a good deal in St. Charles. So or if you're looking for looking to buy something, might have a wholesaler that'll scout out something for you here. Or just if your landlord's got a lot of property maintained and needs some help, we all need help at times, if not all the time. We don't have our own property manager like Jim Choik. He doesn't worry about that stuff, but he lets his property manager take care of it. But most small-time landlords still out there doing a little maintenance and looking for good contractors, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, a little bit of everything. I don't see Melissa on here. She was gone. Melissa from the One Way Construction and Roofing has been on several times. I actually met her face to face this week. She came out with one of her estimators and looked at one of my roofs that it leaked on whatever the Tuesday was 3 or 4 weeks ago. We had our first time it's leaked, and so water found its way in. Finally, there was enough water to get in. So they're working up a bid for me. So hope to hear back from them. Them in Charlotte, got to get that taken care of before the next big rain.
Right.
Normal rains, it hasn't had any problem. It's just when it comes down in 9 inches in 2 hours or whatever it did.
Mhm.
And even heavier out here in St. Charles, St. Peter's, I think. They said it was even farther. We were out of town at the time. I just know my wife's rain gauge, measures up to 6 inches, was overflowing when we got home. So we had more than 6.
So yeah, Lord, Melissa, she is great. I'm working with her now on 2 projects, and she's good. I really like working with her. Her personality and her job skills, everything is great about her so far. So
Good. Yeah. Glad to. Hopefully she can take care of yours and get back to me. I keep looking at my inbox. I'm sure they're busy. She didn't give me a promise date when they have me back a bid, but
yeah, they're very busy. Yes, very busy.
Yeah, it sounded like.
And that's a good sign. That's a good sign if they're busy.
Mhm. Yep, the good contractors are usually busy.
Right.
And we're gonna find out about them and their backlog builds.
I'm happy to say that we got a house under contract to fix and flip in the Melville area. So we may be looking for someone who could build a deck. And maybe, I don't know, we were thinking of, it's a framed home, but taking out where the large window is and just cutting out a bigger space for a door, front door leading out to the backyard. Does
The
anyone?
19th?
What?
18th.
Oh, go ahead. Somebody said their mind. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so just looking for maybe someone who could build a small deck.
Okay. This is in the Melville, you said?
Melville area.
Melville area. Okay, in South County. Okay. Okay.
Melville, Lee May, Melville area.
South County. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you may want to ask Melissa. She probably would have a referral. I mean, so far everybody that I've seen her refer has been pretty good. You know, she could, you know, that's somebody I would probably reach out to for an estimate there.
All right, yeah, we'll probably be in touch with her because I think it's going to need a new roof, so we were planning on calling her anyway.
So are you going to fix this up yourself and then sell it? Is that what you're planning on? Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea, John. She's made referrals. She's given me referrals, and they're so far been good. Yeah.
Good to know.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Melissa's number is 314-504-1581, but she said she's going to be on vacation next week. And when I asked her about a fence, she said it would probably be 2 weeks before she got to take a look at it. So I don't know how quickly they'll be available.
Great, thank you.
yeah, she didn't mention that to me, but hopefully she'll get my bid out this week. She's going to be on vacation next. So.
Yeah,
Anyway.
she won't forget you. She took about 2 weeks to get down to see my place in Park Hills, but she was real detailed. And,
Wow.
yeah,
It's around.
she goes out to mid-Missouri and they have a camping spot they rent out there. In fact, we were talking about trying to find her one she could buy because she could probably pay less money to own a place. They've been going out there for years, so we haven't really had a chance to sit down yet. But we'll see if we can't help her out there because I mean she's helped us out. A lot of our members helped us out a lot.
Right.
He's very knowledgeable. I think she comes from a good place. They've been around a while too. I mean, since like the mid-90s. So you know, that's not like a fly-by-night company by any means.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard the name before,
Mhm.
but never have done business with them. So.
Mhm.
Okay, well, anybody else anybody else have a contractor that might build decks down in South County that they may want to refer to get Jeannie and Lynn another bid? So they do, go ahead and speak up, or if you think about it, let us know. And in the meantime, anybody else looking for anything? Or have a service to offer, somebody that might have a service to offer to investors? Okay, Charles says, I have a client looking for a light rehab to buy and sell and buy and hold in East St. Louis. Okay. Okay. And you can leave a message. You got left his phone number there, 815-324-2133. You can leave him a message. If you have something that's a light rehab for a buy and hold in East St. Louis. Because we got members on both sides of the river, and we got folks here from all over that tune in, come in with us on Fridays. Yeah, well, here we got, I see Paul Cornelius is on today. Haven't seen him on for a while here. Now he invests in on the east side. I think he's got you still got your airplane hangar over there, Paul, and if he's got his, maybe he doesn't have a mic on his computer. But anyway, yeah, he's got, I always told him if he wants to divest of his airplane hangars over there, I might be willing to drive my RV over there to put it in storage in an airplane hangar instead, whatever it takes to get it out of the weather.
That's funny.
Hey, that's right. You could too. We could go together. When Paul decides to sell out his airplane hangars, we could
Right.
convert it to an RV storage. Of course, the guys that fly airplanes probably have more money than us RV folks. So I have to talk to Jim about that.
Well, depending on the airport, it might not be legal. The FAA does not like non-aircraft and aircraft hangars. If the airport has accepted federal money, it's probably a no-no.
Okay. So we have to put some wings on our RVs to.
Yeah.
Okay. Darn it, I have to rule out that then. Anyway. Anybody else got anything for us? Anybody else have any weather-related damage that they're still trying to recover from? I was just talking earlier about, I had Melissa from One Way come on and look at one of my roofs on one of my rentals, because it's the first time it's leaked since I've owned it in 5 years. So the torrential rain found a way in somewhere. And but it was an older roof though, so that's what they told me. It's time to get it replaced anyway, and they're going to change the roof vent while they're take off the ridge vent on it because it's too shallow a slope to have. That's where the water came in, was the ridge vent. But then I got another one that's still drying out in the basement. Didn't get a lot of water. I know Laura Jimerson told me that, yeah, they had like 4 feet of water in one of their basements. Enough to float a washing machine. That was it was not sad to hear.
Kira had a big one too. She showed me the video the other night, and I think she's on here now, but one of her tenants sent one, and it looked like a river pouring through there. It was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think she had good success with her insurance either. It looked like it was, I don't know. Kira, are you there where you want to tell us about it? I think she said something about some kind of the way they classified it. I don't know. Maybe she can't unmute. I don't know, but
yeah, or I'm not sure if her computer has a. Well, no, she's talked before, but I think maybe she was just on her phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Top on if I'm gonna help you. It says microphone USB.
Oh, there's Paul. Okay, Paul's trying to get his microphone going.
That's what it wants.
Get his video going.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Paul, we can hear you. Now he's got his microphone. And he stepped away from the computer. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of folks had issues.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I had one when I heard it. My tenant texted me and said, "Hey, the basement's flooding," and I said, "Well, how deep is it?" I was really flooding. I was really concerned how deep it was because that one has a sump pump in it. Oh, and he showed me a picture. It was just puddles of water on the floor. Hey, Paul, you got your microphone working. We hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to make it work. I had trouble with it, so. Anyway, I I got a couple of properties in West County. I'd like to get rid of on a 1031 exchange.
Okay,
They're in pretty good shape. They're not perfect, but I think the retail owns about 180, and I think I'd work with somebody on it. If they want both of them, they pay about 1,000 a month with the present tenants. So, but I was going to use those two on a 1031. So,
okay.
if anybody's interested, I guess I can give you my phone number and then go from there.
Sure. You want to give us a little more detail? And are they?
They're 2-bedroom,
Okay.
1 bath on a slab. They got
Good
pretty
one.
good sized yards. They're in Winchester, which is right between Baldwin and Manchester, right there by 141 in Manchester. It's a good rental neighborhood. These are smaller homes, 700-800 square feet.
But you said they're on a large lot though, so.
Yeah. A lot of people are tearing them down, building,
I
bigger.
was wondering in that area if that might be a prime candidate for a tear down and build a new home. So.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of exit strategies on that then. So, okay, yeah, give us your phone number, Paul. And
Yeah, 314-541-6737. And you just got to be a little flexible. I need this 1031 done by October, but at least have the thing done by that time.
okay, so you're looking to, you've already got a replacement property identified?
Yeah, well, it's a deal based on an auction, and if I get it,
Oh, okay.
you know.
Okay. Yeah, those 1031s are hard to get the timing sometimes. So you think 180 days that identify and 45 days to close is a lot of time until you're in the pinch.
Yeah. I was trying to get this done ahead of time, I mean, eventually my plan is just to probably, I'm not really sure at this point, but I want to get rid of everything that's more than, 40 minutes away, and I just.
I'm with you there. I'm in the process of getting everything within a 3-mile radius of my house. So I got one of those left, and I currently have a lease option tenant in that one. So I'm working with him really. I'm getting more flexible.
Yeah, I know how that is.
It goes on. He made it through the pandemic. He was a little late a few times, but I work with him, and he got back on track. So I'm hoping they're gonna carry through. The last time I talked with him was going to be like next year. They'll be hoping to be able to buy. So
Yeah, I got another one probably I get rid of. It's closed, but it's in Maplewood, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. But I'd be willing to work with somebody. I don't need any, the retail price or anything. I'd be willing to come off that what they're worth quite a bit. I mean, they really don't need that much work, and the tenants have been there forever. So
you got some good long-term tenants. If you got, got a lot of long-term landlords here that wouldn't mind extra in a good neighborhood like Winchester. See, Charles was asking about your phone number. I'll repeat it. Paul's phone number again is 314-541-6737.
right. Yeah.
Paul, did you say 2 bedrooms?
Yeah, they're 2 bedrooms.
Okay. How many baths?
One
What's the
bath.
number of baths? 1 bath, okay.
700 square feet, 750. Large lot. One's got a garage. The other one has a carport, But I've had them forever, so I've tried to keep up with them. One I just recently painted. The other one may need a little paint, But as far as all the systems are in pretty good shape. Maybe one could use a new AC, but I do have a spare AC for it. New condensing unit, so. And on the other hand,
Okay.
anybody that needs appliances, I mean, I've been collecting these things for years because of the rental business. I got refrigerators, washers, dryers, dishwashers. I got them all stored in a place. because when something goes bad, it's easier to pull it out and replace it than to stand there and fix it. So, you know, I've got a pretty good inventory of those things I'd like to get rid of at a very reasonable price. I mean,
Okay.
if you need them for rentals, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a refrigerator that I'm not sure how much longer it's going to last.
Well, these are strictly for rentals, although I do have some,
No, I'm talking about one of my rentals, right?
yeah, I got some side by sides with water and ice. I got regular over, you know, the top freezer with the bottom ones. I got, I even have a stacker washer and dryer, which are, those things are pretty hard to come by. They're expensive, you know, but I just got to start getting rid of this stuff. I can't be storing it forever, you know what I mean? I had a container full of everything. You can imagine. It had everything I ever needed for these. But I suddenly discovered the container cost more than the stuff that was inside it, you know. So I had to get rid of it, you know. Anyway, that's my story. If anybody's interested, why, give me a call.
Okay.
And I would warranty or guarantee the appliances. I know they all work. I wouldn't keep them if they didn't work. So, you know, one of those.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So get some good used appliances for replacement and your rentals. So
Yeah.
that's another good option. Okay. Well, you got a lot of.
I mean, I have some, and I may even, you take it out of there, you can have it. Because it's in a basement, you gotta lug it up the set of steps. I've got a
Oh,
dolly,
okay.
but it takes two people to get them out of there, you know.
Uh-huh. Okay, so all your stuff, then you ready your container and you got it stored in the basement now?
Well, one is, I've got
One
it
is.
stored in an apartment building that's, I've been wanting to get rid of for a long time. It works fine. But
Okay.
Are you wanting to
anyway,
get
give me a
rid of,
call, we can talk about it.
are you wanting to get rid of the apartment building too, Paul? Is that what you're saying?
Someday,
Someday?
not right now.
Not right now. Okay. Okay. Just
Everybody wants
finance.
that. I get a call a week on that one. Everybody wants that one, you know.
Put it up for auction, see what you get.
Yeah.
Very good. We're talking earlier about you still got your airplane hangers?
Oh, yeah, yeah, they're all rented, you know.
They're all rented, yeah.
Yeah,
Just if,
but I've got, some of it's, you know, not all hangars, some of them are like office warehouses, you know. And
oh, okay.
most of those guys are doing well, and I got some pretty long-term leases.
Long-term tenants there, yeah. Yeah.
But the hangars are hard to come by these days, you know, they're few and far between if you want to try to rent one, you know.
Yeah, as Jim Chuck knows, he's renting one out in Creve Coeur for his airplane.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's they're very tight at Creve Coeur. Very hard to get.
Yeah, Creve Coeur is I'm over at Bi-State over there.
Yeah.
Parks, you know, it's,
Yeah, we've talked at some of the old meetings a couple of years ago.
yeah,
I think you were flying an R-44.
yeah. And I've got some fixed wing too, you know, but I haven't been doing much of that lately. You know?
Yeah, I've got a Warrior too.
Yeah, that's a good little airplane.
It is for my type of flying. Yeah.
Well, you can get to go just about anywhere in that. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hey, thank you, Paul, for coming on today. Wow, you got all kinds of juicy tidbits.
Yeah. Well, I had trouble getting on here. I couldn't figure out because I hardly ever use Zoom, and I guess you have to plug the. Well, anyway, I figured it out.
You figured it out. Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad you did. So, yeah, that's good. Okay, we got some good. I might be calling you myself on that. Properties in West County. See if
Yeah.
not too far away. I got a son-in-law that's over there, and he's gotten into rentals here lately. He may be interested too. So
Yeah, one of them I just put in all new sewer line, you know, it's a slab, like a crawl space house. I put all new sewer line underneath it and all the way out to the lateral.
oh, okay. Well, crawl space is better than a slab. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you can do some work underneath them. Whereas a slab, you know, get a plumbing issue. You got to get out the jackhammer and, you know,
Yeah.
house. Yeah, that's. that can get expensive in no time at all. But
You know, that's why I never use Roto-Rooter anymore. They broke a cable off in one of them.
oh, in one of your sewers? Oh, wow.
Sewers, yeah, and I spent all night. I had a tenant living there with a jackhammer pounding up the floor to get the cable out. You know?
Oh, my.
So I only use people that really know what they're doing. They don't really know. You know?
Paul, is the house that you have on Maplewood, is that also a rental?
Yes, it is a rental. I get $1,000 a month. It's a 2-bedroom brick. It's actually right off of Arsenal on McCausland. And
Okay.
it's in a preservation neighborhood. And what else can I tell you? It's a brick house. It's I don't know.
And they've lived there, or they've rented from you for a long time, the tenants?
Well, the old tenant rented from me for a long time. The one that's in there now, they've only been there a year, you know.
And
I
is the
finally
lease-
decided to kind of go with a management company. It's just too much for me to take care of anymore. So I decided to start letting them do a property at a time, see how it works out, you know.
Yeah, because we do fix and flip, so I didn't know if that would be something that could possibly be.
Well, I get a lot of inquiries about it. I mean, I did the kitchen not too long ago, and the bathroom I kind of did, you know, I mean, I did some tub surrounds and stuff, but it could still use a little bit of work.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, looking in the chat here, I see Lisa Klaus is looking for a multifamily 6+ with seller financing. Any particular area, Lisa, that you're looking for?
Right now I'm in St. Louis County, but I'm open to other areas.
You open? Okay, yeah. Okay, sound like Paul is open. He's got properties from over in Illinois all the way to West St. Louis County. So he's kept his options open.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody wants to get a hold of Lisa? She put her email there in the chat. For the people that might view this on the recording, it's Klaus, CLOUSE 1966 @gmail.com. Her contact information. So anybody's got a multifamily 6+ with potential seller financing. And Paul's number again. Yeah, okay, Paul, you're going to be getting some calls today, I can tell.
All right.
I'm going to repeat it again. Paul's number is 314-541-6737.
Right.
So, yeah, Paul's brought a lot to the table here today. So hopefully we can find a solution for completing Paul's 1031. I know those are, like I said, I've had my last one. I was hoping to. I sold one of my bigger rentals and was hoping to pick up 2 smaller properties. I got one. Had one under contract the first one under contract pretty quick, but the other 2 that I should have put more possibilities in my list to identify, and neither one. I only had 2, and neither one of those was able to come through with. So ended up losing my 1031 status on that. Had to pay the taxes.
That's painful.
Yes, it was. Don't like when that happens, but
Yeah.
usually I'll pay extra for a property if rather than paying the taxes on it. But the 2, both of the sellers changed their mind on me. They weren't. Their situations have changed since I talked to them the first time. And anyway.
Yeah, that's the great thing about real estate. You know, it's a wonderful business, except if you've been in it for a long time and it's time to get out, the tax man cometh pretty strong.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's
A lot of ways to defer paying the taxes, but
yeah.
strictly just deferring. Yeah.
Most of the time you have to die.
Well, yeah, we won't talk about that option. That's the one way, that's the one way you can avoid paying it altogether.
Yeah.
Just to die first before, but we won't go there. So yeah, hopefully we can get you fixed up. Anyway, anybody else got anything?
Does anyone have a good pest control company to recommend?
Ooh, good pest control.
Agent Pest Control, I use them.
What was the name?
Agent, AGENT.
Agent, okay.
I've been using them for years. It's a lady runs it and she's, it's kind of a family business.
Good, that's what I was looking for.
I was trying to think of her name.
Oh,
I use Rattlers. They're very good. Rattlers.
Okay,
Yeah, I've used Rattler too. They're probably not inexpensive, but I think they do a good job.
Yeah,
That
they
is
are
Agent.
pretty. They are
Agent.
expensive, but they do an excellent job. Yes, you're right, Jim.
oh, yeah, I was trying to think when you mentioned Rattler, I didn't think about that. I've used for termite treatment, and I'm sure they do all the others, is called Two Nice Guys. And if you tell, I know for termite treatments, if you tell them you're an investor, they have some special pricing for investors. They treated two of my rental houses when I was selling them, and there was some old termite damage or.
I did contact them a couple of days ago. It's a carpenter ant infestation. And I haven't heard back from them, so maybe I'll try to give them a call again. But I thought they were investor friendly.
Yeah, they're investor friendly. So yeah, but keep calling them. I would. Yeah, they're probably pretty busy.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a connection with a wholesaler? The people that I've come across, they aren't really good deals for what they want.
Okay, you're looking to buy something from a wholesaler, get on some wholesalers list?
Yes, I'm gonna call Paul as well, but if someone has a wholesaler that they've worked with before.
We do wholesales also. If you could give me your number, I'll give you a call to see what you're looking for.
Sure, thank you so much. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, put your number or can put your email in the chat too. I have somewhere here, I have a list of wholesalers that I'm on their buyers list. Forward you their the list of folks that email me their things. Yeah, some of them their deals aren't that great. It's been probably, of course, I'm not that actively looking for any new rentals, but I've probably been 4 or 5 years ago since I bought something from a wholesaler. But
Yeah, I don't know the numbers, Lori, but we've got other members. We've got Laura and we've got Chris also.
yeah, Laura Lennington, Chris Clewine are two that come to mind that are members of our group. Okay, Carmen. Okay, she's got. I'll write down. Well, let's see. I guess I can copy paste it. Keep it.
Yeah, Carmen, what particular area and what are you actually looking for? Are you looking for single families, multi-families, or just if you maybe a little bit more information may be helpful?
I'm open to single and multi. I was looking at smaller apartment buildings off LoopNet, but they wouldn't come down off the price. And I'm trying to stay away from the city. I can do South City, North County, St. Charles.
Okay. All right. So you kind of open a little bit then, sounds like.
Yeah, I'm pretty open.
Are you looking to be a cash buyer? Are you looking for owner financing? Do you have backup? What exactly are you?
It would either be cash or hard money.
Okay. All right.
But if somebody's open open to seller financing.
Mhm.
I'm willing to go that route.
Is there any certain price range you're looking at in between or anything like that?
Yeah, so kind of what Paul has as far as single families.
Uh-huh.
Don't really want to don't want to go over 1,000 square foot. 2 and 3 bedroom, 1 bath minimum.
Okay, so you're looking for buy and hold properties like Paul was talking about then.
Correct.
Yeah, give Paul a call.
Oh, I am. Sorry, Mr. Paul.
Yeah. Yep. That's great. Okay, thank you, Carmen.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, I see, yeah, Amber put in 2 nice guys too, and she didn't know about their investor discount apparently. Actually, I found out about them from my home inspector I've been using for a number of years, when he found, when I was buying a foreclosure several years back, he found some old termite damage, and he said, "Oh yeah, you need to, have this looked at. You can use this to negotiate." In fact, he always finds something that pays for his fee. I can negotiate when I'm buying. Even the bank took, even though I had a pretty good buy, the bank took off. I got Rottler out there to take a look at it, and gave me their $900 to $1,000 bid to treat, and I put that back, gave that back to the bank, and they took, knocked it off. It was like $950 off of the sale price. And then I called 2 nice guys, because my home inspector told me, "Hey, this 2 nice guys has got a pretty good thing, investor," and I think they treated it for a little over $500. So when I called them back a time after, several years later, I called them back and said, "Hey, yeah, I'm an investor. You still doing that investor discount?" And say, "Oh yeah." So it's gone up a little bit, but it was still pretty reasonable the last time. Okay, anybody got anything else for us today? Start out a little slow, but thanks to Paul, you got things going here. Paul and Carmen got the marketplace going here today, so I glad to hear that. So. Okay, well, if nobody else has anything, I think that's all it's in the chat. I don't see anything else in the new things in the chat.
I guess the only other thing is this is Paul.
Yeah.
Anybody's got any farm ground they want to get rid of, but I'd be interested in it.
Okay. Any particular place, one side of the river or the other?
Preferably Missouri.
Missouri.
Are you looking to farm, or are you just looking for agricultural property in general, or what are you looking for exactly there, Paul?
Yeah, farm ground. Something, I am a farmer, and so, I just want some more ground. It's in preferably in areas where it has some road frontage, and around, depending upon where it is and what the yield is and all that.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking for something that's already being farmed now, or something?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be
Either way, you're
better.
kinda open. Okay.
It'd be better if it was already farmed.
Okay.
First start out, if it hadn't been farmed in a while, it takes a lot more money to get it going.
Yeah.
What do you farm, Paul? What do you farm?
Growing soybeans now. Yeah.
Okay. You alternate between corn and soybeans for crop rotation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I pretty much leave it up to the farmer. I'm not running a plow or anything.
Okay. You got a tenant farmer. Okay.
Yeah, whatever he wants to do, I'm go along with it. The thing I like about it is it's a good way to have some income without problems. You don't have any toilets, you don't have any tenants, but it sits there and appreciates just like real estate, but it also pays income. And of course, now crop prices are pretty good.
Yeah.
It's more about when you get older about not being busy.
Yeah, I've got a cousin in Minnesota that retired from farming at, and he kept his land though, leased it out.
Smart guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's a pretty smart cookie.
You know who's got a lot of farm grounds? Ruth.
Yeah.
She got a ton of
Well,
it.
her family does now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know she passed on.
oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. We haven't seen her for a while, but
Yeah, they were smart. They bought that years and years and years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else got anything? Oh, somebody asked if Carmen has text to that phone number. I guess you could try it on the, yeah. Do you text on that? Is that a cell phone? Carmen, you can receive a text on?
Yes, I can receive text.
Okay, Charles. Yep. Go ahead and send her a text then. I can.
Hey Lloyd, I had one more question.
Amber, go ahead.
Yeah, I applied for safer funds, and versus this time around, my tenant applied last time, same house, but I was denied. So when I went to ask questions about why did they deny me, I was hoping it wasn't because they thought it was the same location I was trying to get more money on. Obviously, it's a duplex. They basically said they were questioning if I own the house, which I think is silly because you already approved one half, but now you're asking for a lot of documentations to prove that I own the other half. But just curious if there's any other landlords who have run into issues with the safer and, kind of pushing back a little bit. I've provided all the information that they've asked. Some of it even was silly. They were saying, can you show on your lease that you have a security deposit? Can you show bank statements where the security deposit was paid? What does that have to do with me owning this house? But things like that they were asking for. So just wondering if anybody else had ran into issues with them.
Well, Amber, this is Ann. I have not had any problems, but they do ask for a deed up front. So did they ask for your deed to prove that you own the house?
I think in the application, that was one of the items you could submit. But instead I submitted my insurance, the most recent insurance statement or whatever. So my name is listed on there, my, address, everything is listed on there. So I mean, because that was the easiest for me to grab and pull off the internet and submit. So that's what I submitted.
Okay, well, I don't know. I've never had any problems. I've done several but upfront, they always ask for the deed. So that's what I've, supplied for them. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know what else. And especially if you've asked now that you said they were also asking about insurance. See, I was never asked about that.
Well, that was one of the items when they say basically prove that you own the house. It was a list of like 4 or 5 different things that they said you could submit. And so the easiest one for me was to grab my insurance paper. I knew exactly where that was at.
Right, I understand. Yeah. But I don't know, maybe someone else disagreed with that one and thinking that, okay, you have to have the deed, because I've always thought they seem like that is a really important one, because they can go directly to the, I guess, county, they can also look that up. I don't know. I've never had any problems though.
Yeah, and the other piece, the reason I didn't submit the deed, and because this was my self-directed IRA property, so I didn't want to confuse them with Amber owns part of it versus the IRA owns the other part. I didn't want to have them even question it. So that was intentional on my part not to submit the deed.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, yeah. And that maybe that just raised some questions with them. I don't know.
I don't know. I got a speculation that if you got funds earlier, maybe they were trying to get the funds moving earlier, and now maybe I'm not sure how if anybody's heard a report on how they're spending down the funds. They may be getting closer to the bottom of the funds they've got allocated.
Well, they actually extended the program through 2023. However, they're only paying through, or let me say it correctly. So September is the only month that's the cutoff month. So you can request funds in January. if your tenant has not paid you in September of this year, if that makes sense. They're pushing the program through 2023, but it does not say in the blocks that you can request additional money, going forward, or you can request it going backwards. Like if your tenant didn't pay you August, September, October of this year, you can request that money in February.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that they're okay with the funds. I did receive one a payment last week, I guess it was last week, a week ago. Yeah. So I mean, I know that the money is still out there. I don't know if they, gonna probably get shorter in the future, but right now I even spoke to someone and they said that there's plenty of money there. If the tenant just, do their part, and then of course the landlord as well. But so I would probably contact them and find out, maybe kind of nail it down to exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's basically what I did. There is a appeal process. You send in an email to a black hole, if you ask me, but they have been very responsive. I will say that anytime I email them back, they email within, I'd say, 15 minutes. But then it's very canned responses of, hey, we need your rental history. And then it says for these months, but it doesn't say for which months. It's like a copy and paste. And so I'm asking questions, you need what? I'm applying for these funds because my tenant did not pay the rent. So what rental history are you looking for? So it is frustrating, but I have received funds in the past. So I say continue doing it. But I was just wondering if other people had run into issues with it.
Yeah, no, it seems like you doing everything on your part. So you're doing what you should do. You've done it. So great. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately that I haven't had to apply for any of those. So the programs, but like anything, there's people processing them, and so it's going to be subjective. No matter how well they train their employees, that there might be different opinions of how the different folks are handling that process.
And you're absolutely right. They denied it immediately, but did not even reach out or say anything of, hey, we have a question about this. It was just a denial, which was weird. The other one, we had to update a couple of documents and they had reached out, but yeah, I don't know if they're trying to hold the funds and not give them out as quickly, but I'm definitely going to keep pushing.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, so just continue, Amber.
Hey, John, this is Paul. John Lee, are you still doing these tax sales?
I buy properties over the counter. I don't go to the actual sales. All the auctions are next week. This is a great time to find stuff. What in particular is your question, Paul? Well,
my question is, I have a tenant that just, I've actually sold him the house, and now they're selling their house, and he's an excellent tradesman, and he's just looking for another house now that he can work with and, rebuild. And so he's kind of searching around, but I know you're really tied close to that kind of stuff. I don't know if you have a website that he could go to, or whether he can call you or whatever. No, you can reach out to me. Yeah, feel free for that. What I like to deal with the people. I don't deal with the counties necessarily unless they're over the counter properties. And what I mean by that is after they take them over after the 3rd year sale, then I'll buy them directly from the county themselves. But until then, I like to deal with the people. Because do you sell them? Do you flip them to somebody else? Sometimes. Yeah. Actually, most of the time, actually. Yeah. Well, that's what he'd be interested in. And he had cash because the payoff on the house. I mean, he has a lot of cash. He had a lot of equity in it. Yeah, I'd be able to help him find something. I mean, there's stuff out there. You were talking about agricultural ground. I was actually looking out towards the Branson area right now for some parcels because there's people doing some pretty large deals out there, and they're doing the short-term rentals. They're converting some of that property, which I hate to see it change from agricultural, because all of a sudden your taxes go from,
$300, up to,
Yeah.
whatever, several thousand. So, but yeah, it depends on what area and stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities right now. In fact, I've got like 5 counties I'm looking at, but it's way more stuff than I could ever deal with,
Yeah. So you just give me a call or,
That'd be the best thing. I don't really have a website where I put stuff. Years ago, I've got a couple websites, but years ago I used to put stuff on there, but it would always sell before I could even have time to put it on there. So I just quit doing it.
okay. Well, what's your number and I'll give it to them,
Yeah, it's 314
Yeah.
291 1717.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you can help him steer him in the right direction, or maybe he could buy something from you. I mean, he'd probably be easier, but if he just bought it from you.
Yeah, you could just talk to him a little bit and find out what he's looking for. We could probably steer him in the right direction, if nothing else.
Okay, thank you.
Certainly.
Yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. If you don't know about it, the tax sales are this coming Monday, right? The 22nd. For the most of the counties in state of Missouri, anyway.
Pretty much all the counties in Missouri, the same day for some reason. So you need to be 99 different people if you want to go to all the tax sales.
There's 114 counties. There's 115 if you count the one municipality. They're all on the same day at the same time. You have to be there in person. You cannot have a representative. So that was one of the things that when I first got into it, I don't like auctions anyway, because I don't want to get in. I don't like competition. I just like to do what I want to do. I also don't want to, if you go there before the 3rd year sale, before the counties take them over, which is, up to 5 years of back taxes, then you've got to deal with a lot of other stuff like that too. That's why I deal with the people before they get to that, are only the counties after that. That's just me personally. There's a lot of other good strategies people use. You can collect interest on them if you want to do that kind of stuff. I'm never interested in interest though. I just want to control the property, because personally, I want to make at least, well, I don't even want to say, but about 100 times what I pay for the properties on them. That's what I like to do. So, and how do you get into it? Michael asked that. Well, you can look those up. You can get deep in a lot of different things. That's just to be simple though. That's how I do it. All the tax sales are coming up next week, and it's a good time to get their list, because some of them won't even give you the time of day afterwards. So right now I'm accumulating lists, because this will keep me busy for the next year. There's like 5 counties that I like to deal with, and St. Louis is really not one of them. Neither is St. Charles. They're like the most unfriendly counties. I think Kansas City is a little better. I know people have dealt with them out there, but there's so many counties that are easy to deal with. So, and the people are people, no matter where they're at,
Hey, John, just real quick. So Jeannie, I think you asked at the meeting on Tuesday about going down to the St. Louis City tax sale. And I just wanted to give you my perspective, because I didn't get to catch you before the meeting was over, but I did it once. And Amber's opinion as a woman, I personally wouldn't go down there without a man, and take that for what it is. But it's very intimidating when you go down there. I tried to do all my due diligence. The second time around, I went with my dad and I got a property. People will just outbid you just because. I don't know what the game that they play down there, but it is very hard, especially in the city, because of just of the process, how it works. But, I did all my due diligence ahead. Hey, these are the 10 I want to look at. And none of them, I couldn't even get close to bidding on them, because it was just ridiculously outbid. So just my opinion, take it for what it's worth, but I wouldn't go down there as a single woman anymore by myself down there.
You've also got redemption periods and all kinds of stuff if you buy properties from the auctions. There's just a whole bunch of red tape you go through, where if you deal with the people ahead of time, that's a lot simpler process, or wait till they're over the counter. Now, St. Louis County does do some of that now. They didn't back years ago. I questioned them back in like 2007 and 8 when they only had like 700 properties. And they said, oh, we'll never do that. Well, lo and behold, they will do that, but it's a whole different story. And I think actually I think it was John the other night, might have been Willie, but I think it was John was talking about they've done that, buying them from the over the counter like that. But that's a whole different process. It's just personally, I don't like that. And it's not, you see a lot of things out there about, I've taken courses and everything else where they'll tell you all the liens are wiped out and all that kind of stuff. That's probably not true in most areas in the United States, in my, just from what I've seen. Because there's stuff, people that can come back. You still have to go through the redemption property process where they'll, in court, if they show up, there's possibility they could still have an interest in that property. You can do a quiet title. I've done probably hundreds of those, not me personally, because you need an attorney for that, a real estate attorney, but that's a process you go through too. But that will give you a true clear title. You have to quiet the title, they call it. It's a quiet title process. There's still a lot of things you have to go through to do that. Most of my attorney retired recently, which is a shame, because most of the attorneys out here that you'll talk to deal with this stuff, they will not give you a flat fee on doing this. And that's one of the big problems I have with even trying to do this, is because they'll say, well, we have to see what we go through. Well, my attorney used to just have a flat fee of like $700, then you pay your filing fee and your publication and that, and then you'd go to court. Okay. Now they says, oh, well, it depends. And this is what they've all told me too. And I don't care who it is, some of these really good ones, but they'll tell you that it depends on what we run into. Oh, we got to do this. We got to do that. Well, I don't like anything. I'm not going to get an answer on what it's going to cost me in the long, overall. And you can get into, I had a collector, actually a trustee, tell me recently her daughter tried to do one, and the first thing the lawyer told her down, and this is a smaller county, said, well, it's going to cost you $3,000 up front, and then we'll see what it costs, what we run into. That's totally ridiculous as far as I'm concerned, and I won't do that. I mean, I could do the process myself because we've done so many of them, but I'm not a licensed attorney to do that. You need to have a licensed attorney in the jurisdiction where you're dealing with to go through that process. So, I mean, we could probably get into more of that and talk about that, because those questions all come up. And Missouri's like a convoluted state because it's a lien state and a certificate state. And then you can buy them over the counter too, so it gets deeper and deeper. I've just found, back when I started years ago, they didn't even have the websites they got out now. Nowadays in Missouri, and everyone's different, you can get it. Some of the websites are really, really good. And even some of the smaller counties are really good, but some of them, they just get confusing, and everybody has a different idea. Every county is different. There's some counties actually in Missouri. I bought a property recently in a county, a small county, where they don't even go by the tax amounts. You can just make a bid. I bid $100, and that's what I got the property for. I just said I could do that. Then I found somebody else that said they gave them $1 for properties before. So I could have, I spent $99 more than I should have, so. It's just, you just don't know what you're dealing with. Every county is different, and it's not going to be on the website. It's not one size fits all. And getting back to the sales, which is next week, I love getting the list this time of year, but that's going to keep me busy for the next year, dealing with people and dealing with the counties that will sell them over the counter. So, I mean, that's about the only place I even go anymore, looking for off-market properties, because there's thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and it's a very kind of a little known thing where a lot of people just don't look there. Some of the people I know and some of my students and stuff have gone there, but I mean, there's so many of them out there, stuff I wouldn't even tell people years ago because I didn't want anybody to know. And I've just found out that there's so many of them, there's so many properties, there's no way you could ever exhaust them, not in Missouri alone. So anyway, I hope that answered your question. That was kind of long-winded, but it gets really deep on how Missouri works.
Yeah, if you're thinking about going to Texas, I mean, it's probably too late now to do any research. Really, like John says, you really need to do research. You need to pick one county for it. If you really want to go to the sale, just go sit at the sale on Monday and see how they work. That'll get you started on it, and then learn from there on how the county that you want to work in, how they deal with it. I've dealt with not as many as gotten in as deep as John, but years ago I got into the Illinois tax certificates in some of the counties that were nearby, and they weren't all in the same Illinois. There was a certificate sales and they were not all on the same day. So I was able to go around in a number of counties. And I found, Amber, it's not just being female. If you're not, some of those counties, I want to say, if you're not part of the good old boy network there, which I wasn't, they just took turns outbidding you. Like you got outbid. And there was one particular county, I won't say which one, but it was blatant. These were a bunch of, I think they were some hedge funds from Chicago coming down to some of the bigger counties in Southern Illinois. And they were just taking rounds. They were like, okay, you're number one, number two. They were sitting on the other side of the table from me. And say, this is your property. I get the next one. You get that one, and you get that one. And we start again. Then it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And anyone that I bid in on, okay, you're going to bid on this one and take the loss because they bid until I stopped. And the next one, the next guy was going to bid. The next one I bid on, somebody else was going to bid me out, and they were going to take the loss. I managed to, while they were convincing amongst themselves, I managed to get one property in that county. It paid off for me because it did settle and I got paid. And that made up for the losses that I took in all the other ones I went to.
Was it Illinois? You
That was
said
in Illinois. It was years ago, yeah.
okay, because somebody went to jail for doing exactly what you're talking about there not too long
Some
ago.
of those guys, I guess that was years ago. I said, this is not a business I want to be in. After doing that 1 year, I did all my research and everything. I said, this isn't a good business to be in for me.
Well, Illinois, back when that was going on years ago, I looked it up. That's when their last governor went to jail, and 4 out of their last 7 governors were in prison at the same time.
Yeah.
And I thought that had to be the worst state. I looked them up. They were 15th on the list to be in the worst state of corruption in government. Number 1 was actually North Dakota, which really surprised me. I don't know what any of that is now because I don't follow it because I don't like any of that kind of stuff, but it's just amazing. But yeah, Missouri is just, Missouri's a pretty good state from county to county, depending on if you get in there really, and it boils down to relationships and things like that. I know Washington County, their trustee just went to jail too. She was the new guy coming on and supposedly embezzled money. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's stuff happened. And the person I know that knew her said she wasn't embezzling anything, but the powers that be said she was. So who knows, but.
Yeah. You got to know your situation. Yeah. And say, I've gone to the St. Charles County one a couple of years ago, and that was the first time I did that. And it was, you said they don't give you any slack there. The collector revenue runs the auction. And even there was somebody, one of the professional buyers or investor buyers that was there, he realized that afterwards he had forgot to bid on this one. I was keeping a list. He bid on one and he got it. And then there was the vacant lot that sat behind the building. I was kind of interested in it, but then he didn't buy it. I said, there must be something wrong with it. He didn't bid on that one. He came back later and said, oh, hey, I'm sorry. When he realized it, can we open the bid? I'm sorry. I told you we don't go back. When we bid it, the county's got that one. We don't do it. You're playing by my rules. Forget it. And went back to the county. Anyway, they're pretty strict, and they don't bend any of the rules, or not willing to work with you too well in St. Charles County. So I haven't been back since. I just went to see how things go in St. Charles, and I did get one property, and it paid off. It got paid off with a decent interest rate, but wasn't worth the trouble.
So Lauren, I have a real quick question. I know we're limited for time right now, but have you ever tried to bid for like land for your RV? Is that something, does it work like that?
I've been thinking about that. I said I didn't have time to research this year's sale with so much else going on. I did think about it, but the problem with the vacant land, most of it is out in Portage to Sioux and all the north end of the county that goes underwater at least once every 10 years, if not every 5 years. Way out, where the Mississippi and Missouri come together. West Alton, and Portage de Sioux, those areas is where most of the land that because I have looked, yeah, I've looked in the past, I think that I went to, I looked.
Well,
hey,
so that's the only area. I mean, you're saying that they do not exist in other parts of the county?
I'm not saying they don't exist, but okay, yeah, those were the ones that had gone to the ones like John buys past the 3-year sale, that you could buy them for cash.
Oh, yeah, okay. I get it.
There may be some, but if they got some value, somebody is going to come up and pay the taxes before they get to that point.
And get you a list right now and look at the people that are not coming up at the 3rd year. Look at the 1st and 2nd year, which means they're at least 3 or 4 years behind in taxes. My experience is they have other things in their life going on, and many of them do need to sell, and that you might be able to find something there. Very few people look at that other than if they want to get interest, like using it like a lien. There's a handful of us probably that do, but very few.
Okay, the 1st and 2nd, you said, right?
Just get the list of all of them. And then, yeah, if you want to do the post-3rd sale over the counter, yeah, you can wait and see what they have. A lot of those, like Lloyd say, are in Portage de Sioux, but there's a whole lot of them that are not like that people just have a problem when they haven't paid their taxes yet. And there's usually, now them, you got to hunt down a little bit. I know we've talked before about some of that, like going to truepeoplesearch.com and some of those places. And some people you're not going to find. I've sent out a few letters in the last few weeks, and I've gotten a handful of them back, but I'm very selective on what I do now too. I also had somebody call me with 60 acres out, in the Branson area too. I mean, there's just stuff people they're not all free properties. I always ask for stuff for free to begin with. Most of them are not free though, but they just have other problems. But you can just solve their problem if you can find them.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you.
But that's where you look. Find a place you want to look first, and then just and then contact those guys.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. I might go grab that list myself before it.
This is the week to get them, because after next
let's get
week,
it.
most of them will not have a list that's easily available.
Okay. Wow, we hit the gamut here today. Ran the course from houses for sale and properties for sale to back to liens. Yep. And tax sales. So okay. Well, thank you all for coming on today, and I guess we'll hopefully see you all next week, and looking forward to getting together again in October. And we'll be talking. I'll give you a call, Jeannie, when I get off here. Okay. Okay. Sign off for this week. John.
Good seeing you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you all for
Thanks,
coming.
everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Good seeing you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.